Boys Talk Wrestling. Boys Talk Wrestling. Boys Talk Wrestling. BTW, 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 BTW.
Welcome to episode number 4 of Boys Talk Wrestling. This time we've got a TNA pay-per-view. TNA Bound for Glory 2009. I'm Colin, and I'm joined by, of course, Lambent.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm back again.
Or simply Lamb.
Yeah, I'm
and
Lamb.
We're, of course, joined by our third man, Kame Lion 7.
Yeah, what's up?
So before we get going on the episode, Lambent has a couple things he wants to address once again.
Okay.
So take it away.
Yeah, so we got more requests. I just wanted to acknowledge that I know that they exist, and I have noted them. They might be a future episode, they might not. I'm gonna leave it at that. Keep the requests coming in. And then also, you might notice some slight differences with this video than past videos, because the past videos we've been using the WWE network.
WWE.
Yeah, the network has all the ECW, all the WCW, all the WWF/E, but they do not have TNA. So, we decided last week that we were going to go and do a TNA pay-per-view, and we had to use the Global Force Wrestling app.
Global Wrestling Network.
Global Wrestling Network.
I was under the impression that this would be easy.
Yeah, you
would think.
Even during the show that we were watching, there were ads on the ring for what was the TNA network or whatever. You know, back in 2009, you could pay and see all the old TNA pay-per-views. Well, Camel and I had made our accounts, and, you know, the typical account creation process is pretty easy. You click on a link in your email, you're set to go. Well, their verification links didn't work. And it took us about like an hour and a half to finally get it all straight. So that left a bad taste in my mouth. And then
it was very frustrating.
Yeah, we had to clear our cookies and cache, or log in on our phones like Colin did. And yeah, their whole site is trash. Their video player is trash, so there won't be as many screenshots as there would be if this was on the WWE network, but we made do. We even tried to pirate the dang show, but there weren't any torrents out because nobody gives a fuck about TNA wrestling, so it is.
I'd like to give a shout out to our good friend Leet Logan for at least trying to help us in figuring out this situation. He's a good man.
Also, friend of the show, Jackery G, really good friend of mine, tag team
Big
partner,
up Jackery.
A tag team partner of mine on the Indies. He's been wanting a shout out for about a month now, so here is your shout out. Should be noted,
Lambent is the Jannetty in this team, so just wanted to make that clear.
Total Jannetty.
What does Jannetty mean? I don't get it. What does that mean?
Okay,
you know Matt Hardy? That's the Jannetty.
Oh, shoot. You think so?
You use the term in the definition. Can you try harder, please?
Oh my.
So anyway, I'm going to throw it back to Colin now, and we are going to get into Bound for Glory 2009.
Bound for Glory 2009, October 18th, 2009, live from the Brin Events Center in Irvine, California. There was approximately 2,400 people in attendance. A lot of that was apparently comps at the end. They may have only sold like 1,500, maybe.
Damn.
WNBA show.
Sadly.
Wait, what?
This is like a big reason why TNA could never, even though they really wanted to, they could never like tour nationally. And they just stuck to like the Impact Zone and stuff because, you know, they can't consistently draw like more than 1,000 just going all over the country. Anyways, the show opened with a short little music video and then a video package of tonight's wrestlers talking about their matches. They kept advertising that this was the biggest pay-per-view in company history, and that's just not true in
They actually
any
kept
sense
saying-
whatsoever.
They actually kept saying it was the biggest pay-per-view in history.
Did they?
That was said quite a lot.
Yeah. This show did an estimated 38,000 buys on pay-per-view, which does put it in sort of the higher tier of TNA pay-per-views, but is still not near their biggest. Some of their biggest did closer to 60,000 buys. This actually wasn't even their biggest pay-per-view of 2009. It's estimated that both Genesis and Lockdown did about 40,000 buys. They always tried to make Bound for Glory like their WrestleMania, but no one ever really bought it. And Lockdown pretty regularly outdrew it.
I think the first time it like did really good, so they just tried to roll with it.
What separates a lockdown from a Bound for Glory?
Well, Lockdown is the gimmick is that they're all cage matches,
Ooh. Cage
which-
matches.
which surprisingly worked for a long time, even though cage matches have been dead in wrestling for like at least 30 years.
Also got the Lethal Lockdown match, which is a play on the War Games, but
Yeah, that too.
that's Lockdown. Let's talk about Bound for Glory.
So Mike Tenay welcomed us to the show, and then Dave Penzer, or should I say Dave Penzer, because that's how he announces everyone's name. It's just like that.
Yeah.
Introduced Zach Wilde of
Jeez.
Black Label Society to perform the national anthem.
No relation to Taylor Wilde.
Yeah, this guy spells wild with a W because he's wild. Dave Penzer referred to Black Label Society as an iconic rock band and said Zach Wilde was renowned around the world for his playing ability, which are both generous statements at best.
Zach Wilde is pretty known in the hard rock.
He's known.
Would you
He's
say?
not like a nobody.
Would you say he's the Janetti?
Genetti
what?
of what?
I just learned the term, guys. Work with
Okay.
me here.
No, I would not.
Okay.
So, yeah, he played the national anthem on his guitar, and then it was time for the opening match.
Wait. He shredded that shit, dude.
Yeah,
You gotta sell him, dude. They had pictures of the Statue of Liberty. They had like pictures of the American flag out in
You had
the
a
world.
man riding a horse with the American flag. Like, what a fucking good country.
I was losing my shit by the end of this, dude. I was giving it up. You know, I gave it up to Saliva Guy. I gave it up to all the other songs that we've heard throughout our BTW stuff, and he made the national anthem his bitch.
Whoa.
Okay. The opening match, Chris Sabin versus Alex Shelley versus Suicide versus Homicide versus Daniels versus the X Division champion Amazing Red in an Ultimate X match for the TNA X Division Championship.
Woo!
Yep. The Machine Guns were in after beating Jay Lethal and Consequences Creed, also known as Xavier Woods right now.
Yeah, that was the dark match.
The
and no
Pope was
longer-
supposed to be in the match, but he was not there due to personal family issues.
Yeah, that's what Tene said.
The Pope, aka the Chris Ben.
As you might have imagined, a lot of spots
Oh
happened
yeah,
in
this was
this
one
match.
big spot fest.
The fans chanted, "This is awesome," about 2 minutes in, so you knew it was a pretty hot crowd of TNA fans.
TNA, TNA, TNA.
So yeah, there's just a lot of spots happening. I wasn't gonna bother to write many of them down, but eventually Daniels, Suicide, and Amazing Red all ended up at the top of the Steel X, which led to the crowd chanting "Please don't die," which is always a great chant. They ended up lowering down from there to the belt, and then they both kind of meaning Daniels and Suicide. I should make that clear. They just kind of fell down from there, and it didn't look like Daniels had much control, and he died.
Yeah, he got
It's a
his
pretty
head
famous spot.
spiked into the mat. There's a few things I would like to bring up, though. When Homicide was getting his offense in, Taz was like, "That's a bad dude, bro." And I thought that was pretty funny.
The bad dude.
We should
Yeah,
actually talk about
Taz was pretty, it was something.
So yeah, the announcers on the show were Mike Tenay and Taz, and as it just so happens, on the last show that we reviewed, Taz was ass kicking orange midget suplex machine guy,
oh yeah, my favorite
And-
wrestler.
and now he's happy go lucky wacky announcer Taz, which is like one of the biggest transformations ever in wrestling.
Yeah, before this, he was Samoa Joe's mentor in the whole Nation of Violence thing. So I don't know how this transitioned. I don't remember
Well,
actually.
Don West became
It's 'cause-
promoter of Amazing
Yeah, Don
Red.
West left the
Yeah,
announce
and then
team,
he just kind of shows up on the announce team.
which was a very sad day when Don West was no longer
Yeah.
announcing.
Yeah, I mean, Don West is a natural at sports entertainment announcing, IMO. And then I have another thing here. I noticed at the beginning of the match, Christopher Daniels did not give a shit. He was like barely punching people. He was just like kind of shoving them around and stuff. I thought that was kind of stupid. And then Mike Tenay had a really good moment where he got to say, "Suicide dive on suicide." He was like laughing to
Classic.
himself, I bet.
That's a good call.
And then early on, so this is Amazing Red's first Ultimate X as X Division champion and Ultimate X in general. And Taz was really concerned that he wouldn't know how to climb a cable. And so Amazing Red ended up climbing a cable, and then he got back down and he said, "Oh, yes, experienced Ultimate X wrestlers wear gloves during this match, and Amazing Red doesn't have gloves." So it was
Dang.
a really big deal that he forgot to wear the gloves.
It actually was a spot where he was trying to figure out how to climb the cables and
Yeah.
ended up getting drop kicked by Homicide, but
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
And also, I think Homicide's Kazarian, right?
No, Suicide is Kazarian.
I mean, yeah, that one. I got their names.
Wait, Suicide is Kazarian?
At this time, I believe so, yeah.
Because I think when Suicide just debuted, it was Kazarian.
It was Kazarian, and then Daniels did him for like one match where he won.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they had the storyline where everybody thought Daniels was Suicide.
Yeah.
It was kind of wacky.
Yeah. I don't like how Christopher Daniels looks. I'm just going to put
Oh my
that out
gosh.
there.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I mean, he's got like this weird body shape where he's got like love handles when he's like really skinny. I don't know. He freaks me out, dude.
And then, what did you think of our boy Amazing Red?
Put a mask on him, dude. No one wants to see that vanilla midget's
What if I
face.
told you
Didn't he used to be masked?
And he should.
that?
He should wear
maybe
a mask. He looked like a freaking idiot out there. I was like, I mean, You know, that's probably what Rey Mysterio looks. That's probably why Rey Mysterio wears the mask. Honestly, I don't know. He just looked like a dumbass, and then he did like 500 spins in the air, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
Lambent. He did both the Destino and the Stardust Preston in this match. Both moves of Tetsuya Naito.
Do you think Naito got him from
Yep.
Amazing Red?
He stole them from Amazing Red.
I mean, he might have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Gimmick. Also, we got a Blue Thunder Bomb!
Oh,
By
yeah, I did
Daniels.
notice that.
That was pretty based.
Was that Death Valley Driver? That is.
No.
Oh.
That's a pretty much an attitude adjustment.
Yeah,
Just
Death
roll.
Valley Driver is just, yeah.
And then I heard the BME, which what was best
moonsault ever.
That wasn't that great of a moonsault.
That's just
Sorry.
the name
Just what
of
it was
the
called.
Sorry, Daniels. Hate to burst your bubble, but you're not
Oh,
that
shit.
special.
So,
Bald ass bitch.
Red ended up pulling the belt off while Alex Shelley was kind of like kicking
Kind of
it.
looking at him.
So Red retained the title. This is kind of a flat finish after we had just witnessed Daniels die in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
But
just
a hot opener overall.
Red slips through the the metal. You know, when that happened, I was thinking, obviously it's because he isn't wearing gloves, so he can't climb the cable. He has to go through the top. So I think that was for storyline reasons.
I thought it was a kind of good time to end the match, considering we just watched a man die.
Yeah, it was. We just saw the peak, but it did
Yeah.
feel flat.
Yeah, I was thinking Shelley was gonna kick him, but he forgot that he's a vanilla midget and his legs aren't that long, so he didn't get into proper kick range, giving Amazing Red an opening to grab the belt and fall down.
He was kicking at him, but it
Yeah.
wasn't doing much.
He's like, oh shit, I'm only 5'9", dude. I need to get some height and come back and try this again.
Anyways,
Oh,
To the back!
Wait.
oh,
The Motor City Machine Guns, they invented the Bullet Club. Did you see what they were doing when they came out? They were doing
no.
they were doing the finger guns.
They do
Finn
the finger
Balor
guns.
saw
If you
that.
do the finger guns, you're copying the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, Prince Devitt or whatever. He saw that. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do
Cactus
that."
Jack copied the machine guns.
No, the machine guns, they do it a different way. Like, if you look at how Cactus Jack does it, it's different than how the Motor City Machine Guns do it. They were doing a nice tight gun, just like Finn Balor did in Japan. I'll have a video coming out about this at a later date, but I just wanted to hint at
Oh,
it.
okay.
Also, I am one of the few who think the machine guns were better than the Young Bucks.
Who are the Young
The
Bucks?
Motor City Machine Guns
Two indie geeks.
are really, really great, and they were great in this match too.
Yeah, they did
I
a
miss
lot
them
of
so
co-op
much.
action, and they never turned on each
Co-op
other
action.
once. Yeah, like literally every time one of them got involved in the match, the other one had to do something with them. They had like separation anxiety if they weren't doing moves together.
It's almost like they're
Yeah,
a
they
tag
did do a
team.
lot of double team moves.
Yeah, and
They
when
love double team moves.
Shelly got eliminated, or Sabin or whatever, he fell. That's why Shelly
Eliminated.
couldn't get the kick, dude. He didn't know what to do without his buddy right there next to him.
Yep.
Okay, to the back.
To the back! Which Mike Tenay actually said, which was a total markout moment for me personally.
Yeah, Mike Tenay is
Uh,
amazing.
So Lauren interviewed the beautiful people, Velvet Sky, Madison Rain, and Lacey Von Erich. Velvet Sky said Lauren looked like Jeremy Borash and said she had an Adam's apple. By the way, the acting in this segment fucking sucked.
Yep.
Yeah, she also
These
said
three fucking bimbos.
she also said that she smelled like cheap cologne and she had
Oh, yeah.
stubble.
What the hell? Is that true?
Didn't look like it. She looked like
No.
a fine specimen to me.
Velvet said TNA started the Knockouts tag division because of the beautiful people and that the belts were created for them. Kind of a kayfabe breaker right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
She also
Uh,
said, who the hell runs this company if they're going to be the champs? Like, why don't you just beat them, you dumb bitch?
And
Ooh.
Madison Rain said there was too much drama going on the last time they got a title shot, so that's why they lost. But tonight they're ready, and they're going to accessorize by adding a couple belts to their sexy little outfits.
Oh yes.
You sound like Dusty Rhodes, like, for a second there.
Lacey
Yeah.
said some shit too.
Yeah,
This
you
sucked.
could tell Lacey was trying to memorize her line while everyone else was talking, and then she got it in. She's really proud of herself.
Oh yeah, Lacey is horrendously awful. Like, she wasn't any good at all during her run in TNA.
She was really hot though.
Yeah, I wrote down I've seen 4 of the 6 tits on this team. That's a shoot, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
always
yeah,
nice.
close
Now,
enough.
Madison Rain, if you wanna put any pictures out there,
If only
I'd be
Angelina
more than
Love
happy
was
to look
there.
at them. Yep. If only.
Yeah,
Angelina
Lacey-
Love has leaks too, by the way. I don't know
Lacey's
if
a
you know
bit
that.
tall for me. She looks like she's like 6'2" or something. I'm
I don't know
not
how
into
tall she is, but she
girls.
was considerably taller.
Yeah. I'm
Wait,
not
which
into
one?
Tall girls.
Lacey.
Lacey. Yeah, she was pretty tall. She could probably step
Good
on me.
insight. Good insight.
So then Jeremy Borash was with the Knockout Tag Champs, Sarita and Taylor Wilde. Jeremy asked if they thought the beautiful people were prepared this time, and Taylor said they'll face any team at any time, and then Sarita spoke some Spanish.
Yeah, Jeremy was also like, thanks for letting me into the ladies' locker room.
Oh yeah, that was
Fucking loser.
kind of cringy.
I was a big Sarita mark back in the day. She's like the only knockout that I remember very fondly. I love the way that she speaks Spanish, and she has very nice abs. I just want to put that out there.
Well,
Yeah.
And then also Jeremy Borash was all like, do you know what she just said? And then Taylor Wilde was
Yeah.
like, no, but it sounded cool.
She said no, but she meant it.
Yeah, whatever.
And Jeremy was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was a fan of Sarita. I don't care about Taylor Wilde.
So it was
killed her.
time for the match. It was the beautiful people, represented by Madison Rain and Velvet Sky, versus Taylor Wilde and Sarita for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team titles. Before the match, Lacey Von Erich seduced the referee.
Yeah.
This sent out Earl Hebner. Some fans chanted, "You screwed Brett," here in 2009.
This is a great segment.
And then Earl made out with Lacey, which she liked because she is a whore,
Oh, yeah.
you see.
Yeah, I wrote down Lacey Von Erich rapes referee because you could tell the referee didn't want that. He was
Yep.
very caught off guard.
very sad.
And then I wrote down Earl Hebner makes her coom and then tells her to get the fuck out because she did get sent to the back.
Yeah, Earl made out with her, and then he was like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah, you dumb bitch. I'm done with
Yes.
you now.
The announcers were constantly putting over the beautiful people and how
Oh,
good
yeah.
they looked. They were
Like,
definitely horny on the main.
Yeah, Mike Tenay was doing his dirty old man gimmick.
Yeah, Mike Tenay was like, it was all a tease. There's no payoff.
Yeah. It's like, haven't the beautiful people been doing this entrance for like years at this point?
Yeah, Velvet Sky always gets a nice zoom in on her rear and then she shakes it, but they were heels, so she did not want to shake it that night.
Very sad.
So the match was very short. Sarita and Wilde retained after a double team springboard kick into a German suplex into a bridging pin.
Yeah, there was
Absolutely
also
based.
a point in the match where Taylor Wilde was trying to get the crowd to wake up, but they did not want to wake up. And so they angrily chanted beautiful people at Taylor Wilde, and she
Damn.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it was actually kind of awkward because when the beautiful people came out, they were cheered, and there was like no reaction for Taylor Wilde and Sarita.
I mean, I don't
even
blame
though-
them. Like, what's Taylor Wilde? Ugh, who
She's
cares?
got a good
No, they're-
ass.
They're both just like, they're women.
Yeah, at least Sarita does
They
some
are
cool
women.
moves, and she's got really nice abs.
Yeah, this was unsurprisingly sloppy while it lasted, but like I said, it was really short, so whatever.
That's Velvet Sky for you. Real
Yeah,
sloppy.
she's not very good.
You tell that to Bubba Ray. He says she's one of the greatest women wrestlers alive.
Yeah, he got his dick worked into a shoot. We all know it. We'll just let
The
Bubba talk.
WWE Universe wants to see Velvet Sky.
Yeah, she missed her era. No one wants to see that now. We got a lot of other fortunately talented wrestlers while also looking very good in the ring. And that brings me to my hot take of this match. I saw a lot of Alexa Bliss in Madison Rain. So, like Shane Douglas inspired Triple H, I'm going to say that Alexa Bliss took everything from Madison Rain.
Alexa Bliss probably doesn't even know who Madison Rain is.
Isn't Madison Rain in WWE now? In
Uh,
NXT?
She was in
she's
the
in
Mae Young Classic.
She's in the Fabulous Moolah Ball.
I think she might have gotten signed. I'm not sure though.
Got signed? Oh shoot, not
But
bad.
yeah, she was screaming. She was like really bad in the ring, just like Alexa Bliss. It's mainly because of the promo. That's where I found the similarities. Because
By the way, just
yeah, it's-
just a quick reminder that Madison Rain is married to Josh Matthews. So don't be afraid to shoot your shot, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Matthews is the type of guy to do the opening to Raw and then bleed all over himself. So anyone
think,
can hit Madison Rain.
Do you think she pegs him by any chance?
This is a wrestling podcast,
I don't
Camo.
know what the heck you're talking about, dude.
Yeah, what is pegging
I need to
anyway?
know.
That sounds real weird.
I gotta know these things.
Someone let
To
me
the
know in the
back.
comments what pegging means. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. To the back.
Lauren was
Back.
backstage with Eric Young and TNA Legends champion Kevin Nash.
Big sexy. No homo.
The story is that Nash and Young are going to work together in the upcoming triple threat match. And Young has apparently promised to pay $60,000 to Nash for this. And Nash said it was a win-win because he gets to make the money and he gets to retain the title too.
He looked like 10 raviolis deep here. He was talking very slow.
Yeah, it was very laid back, relaxed Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think there is a pretty long extended cut scene before this interview, wasn't there?
You tell me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like a video package chronicling the whole World Elite bullcrap. It's not really worth mentioning because it's World Elite versus Main Event Mafia. Snore, but you know.
No, I didn't really write down a lot of the video packages.
Yeah, they all sucked. There was no really good rock music to go with them, so. But yeah, Eric Young has been fucking over Hernandez in the Main Event Mafia for a while, so he's a real piece of
Hernandez
trash.
used to join the World Elite with his partner Homicide. Sadly, they turned on him,
Super
which led to this match.
Yeah,
So the match was
Super
Hernandez versus Eric Young versus Kevin Nash for the TNA Legends Championship. Eric Young and Kevin Nash did in fact work together early on. Young went for a pin, which went against their agreement, but Young realized he wasn't supposed to do that, so then they went back to working together. Young called for Nash to finish Hernandez off with the powerbomb, but then Young threw Hernandez's head right at Kevin Nash's dick, and then pinned Nash to win the title. This was also short, and this match
Very
pretty
slow.
much sucked, actually.
This match made no fucking sense from the beginning to the end.
It kind of did.
We are told at the beginning, Kevin Nash says, Eric Young, you're going to leave unscathed, and I'm going to walk out with the title. Hernandez got his shit in like 90% of the match, and then Kevin Nash would run into the ring, fall down on Hernandez, and break up the pin. Like, you can't book freaking Kevin Nash as a monster at this point. The dude can barely
Well,
move.
he's old.
Yeah, it's like, don't even lie to yourself, Eric. Like, if I'm Eric Young in that situation, our deal's off because I've gotten the shit kicked out of me. The dude was bleeding too. Like, I
Oh
thought it
yeah,
was
his head
gonna be
started
a,
bleeding.
yeah,
Oh
I thought
yeah,
it was
he's
gonna be a clean 2v1, but no. So,
Does anybody know what that happened?
bleeding.
Because I
I
was
have
trying to find
no
out.
idea what happened, but he was
yeah,
bleeding from the top of his head.
yeah,
I
that
guess
was,
he just bladed.
yeah, he was,
I don't think so, but
that was not a blade, dude.
Hernandez gave some nice karate chops to our boy Kevin Nash, which then led to a missile drop kick to Nash.
we're
Who
talking
I
way
wrote,
too much about this match. This match sucked.
You know,
yeah.
also, I really liked Hernandez's little dance move that he did when he came out and his pyro was
Yeah, where he
synced up.
throws
with
up his
him.
arm.
Yeah, he
kinda
throws up
does, like,
one arm,
high kick.
fireworks goes off, throws up the next one, fireworks goes off, and then he does like a jumping dance maneuver, and then a big one goes off. Dude, really, really good use of the budget, Dixie. Fucking idiot.
I had a bunch of pyro on the show, so I don't know. Wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, it probably smelled like shit in there from all the pyro and all the fucking.
That or all the wrestling.
Oh, all the
Yeah.
TNA fans.
Yeah, the TNA fans. Freaking.
Mr. 420 himself.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember when Dixie Carter was doing that congressional hearing on steroids and wrestling? And she said that, I can't remember exactly what the quote was, but she was like, have you ever seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin? Yeah, that's pretty much our fan base. She said that under oath.
That's pretty
crazy.
based, honestly.
I mean, there was one dude in the crowd with Sting face paint on the whole.
There were a couple.
The whole time.
There was a lot of Sting fans there because it was like his home area, and they were advertising it like this was going to be his retirement match. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, this match was a total dud.
Yep.
Yawn.
There was a backstage segment where the tag teams for tonight's tag title match were all arguing until Doug Williams and Magnus convinced them all to calm down and remember that they need to focus on Team 3D. Okay, get ready for this. Booker T and Scott Steiner versus the British Invasion, Brutus Magnus and Doug Williams, versus Beer Money Inc., James Storm and Robert Roode, versus Team 3D, Brother Ray and Brother Devon, in a Full Metal Mayhem match for the TNA Tag Team titles and the IWGP Tag Team titles. Got all that?
Yeah, did you catch during the backstage segment, though, after the two dumbass British people stopped talking, Booker T did an R-Truth impression, and he said, "He right, he makes sense," and then they cut the camera.
Oh yeah, Steiner and Booker were freaking base. They're pretty much the best team of all time.
Yeah, I just liked how Booker was doing the dumb black guy gimmick. That was pretty funny.
Excuse me?
And then James Storm's like, "Where my beer, bro?"
Oh, yeah. So, early on in the match,
Teams.
Scott Steiner ran wild and did a bunch of suplexes on everybody.
Oh yeah.
And
That
then
was the
at
best part of the
47
match.
years old, did a top rope Frankensteiner. Crowd went absolutely nutty for that.
Inventor of the move, by the way. That's named after him.
Charmel came out to tend to Booker. Booker was selling very
Yeah.
comedically.
I love
He
that.
broke his coccyx, dude.
I was laughing my ass off at Booker selling here. He was
Oh!
like, I broke my bone.
Charmel was looking great tonight, by the way.
And then they brought out a stretcher for Booker, and Booker was like, get me out of here, fellas.
This is Booker's last appearance in the company.
Oh,
Was
was
it
it? Yeah,
He
Booker.
did a house show one time after this, but this was his last time in TNA on camera.
Yeah, Booker, he was also, yeah, he was yelling, and then they put him on, like, a stretcher, and then they had to put him on another stretcher, and then Taz was like, what the hell happened to him? They got 2 stretchers for him?
Yeah, it wasn't even. Admittedly, I wasn't really paying that close of attention, I guess, at the time, but I wasn't even really sure what led to this.
He just fell down. I think, outside of the ring. And then there's another really base part where Mr. Steiner just decided to take one of the IWGP belts and beat the shit out of Bubba Ray with
Oh
it.
yeah.
Okay, so Zach Wilde was in the front row, and he threw his beer at Magnus's face, and then was given a chair by Brother Ray and hit Magnus with it. So, there were a few chair shots to the head in this match here in 2009.
Yep.
Admittedly, most were quite light, and people put their hands up, but this is 2 years after the death of Chris Benoit. This is something TNA always liked to do, just to prove how different and cool they were from WWE, but it just made them look idiotic and out of touch, I think.
Yeah, the chairs looked really flimsy, though.
Yeah, Steiner was given some, and these were probably the safest headshots I've ever seen. Like, Steiner was not laying them in at all.
No,
So you gotta give
even
props to
even,
Boy Steiner.
even Brother Ray, who has delivered some bad chair shots in his career, was going quite easy.
Yeah, it seemed like, though, when they would hit him with the chair, it would look like you couldn't sit in the chair anymore. I don't know if they were work chairs, but they looked awfully flimsy.
So the Dudleys climbed the ladders together to try to get the titles, but Rhino came out and attacked them with a chair. Devon pulled down the IWGP titles, so Team 3D won those belts, but the match continues until someone pulls down the TNA titles. Rhino hit Devon with the hardest chair headshot of the night. I don't know if you guys saw
Yep.
that one.
It was not nice.
Rob Terry then came out to kill Robert Roode with a press slam to the outside through a table. And then Rob helped Doug Williams climb the ladder and pull down the TNA tag title to win those for the British Invasion. This was another match with a whole lot going on, but it was good, decent, pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun match. I don't like Doug Williams. Magnus is okay. But other than that, a lot of my faves from TNA were in this match. So it was nice seeing them all in one match, because Beer Money's pretty entertaining, and they even snuck in a spot where James Storm got to spit beer on someone's face and then do a move to him. So that's pretty good. And yeah, I just don't like the British people that much, but I don't really like British people in general, so I guess it's all good.
I can respect that.
And also I noticed towards this match that it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and some of the heels thought they'd be cool and support breast cancer. I don't know what their problem is.
Kevin Nash was wearing them too earlier.
Yeah, wear the
Nash.
freaking wristbands. I don't care if you're a heel, dude. It's really disrespectful to not wear them. All the refs are wearing them. You're like, jeez. I thought that was really offensive.
There was a moment when Devon was having some issues with the IWGP tag belt, where Rhino just kind of let him sit there and figure it out for attacking him.
Yeah.
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
So 3D IWGP champions.
Gamer
I think they lose it at the Tokyo Dome later on.
I can't even remember, but that sounds possible.
I got a gamer reference for you guys. I bet Devon's lock-picking skill wasn't high enough for the title belt.
Oh, dude, you're such a gamer.
Follow me on twitch.tv/onelamb. Thank you.
Don't do that. He never streams.
Instead of a pre-match backstage interview, we got a video package telling us about the next match, which was Awesome Kong versus Tara with Poison, which is her tarantula, which Taz referred to as an insect. Fucking idiot. Versus ODB for the TNA Knockouts title. ODB is the champ coming in, by the way.
I was so happy that we got to see another Victoria match. That's who's playing Tara, the character Tara.
Playing Tara.
in this match because we got to see her earlier, and she's one of my favorite girl wrestlers. So I wasn't expecting to see her, but I was really happy to see her. She's great.
So it was at this point that I realized we've yet to have a singles match. It was like a Russo trademark to give everyone on the roster something to do at virtually all times, which kind of sounds like a nice idea, but often it just waters things down or leads to feuds that no one could possibly care about. So Tara went after someone in the crowd and was broken up by security. She dropped
What
an
was that
F-bomb. I will tell you in a minute. She dropped an F-bomb, and then Tara went to the back, and so it was just ODB and Kong for a minute, and then Tara just unceremoniously returned. I wrote, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So then later, I went and looked into this. So it turns out the person in the crowd that she was attacking was Kim Couture.
Like Randy Couture?
Yes, Randy Couture's
Wow.
wife.
Oh, wow.
What the hell was that about?
And
Wait,
so
that was a shoot?
not exactly. Apparently, not many people in the company knew about this at all. Like, I don't even think the wrestlers in the match knew about it, other than Tara, of course. And the announcers, I don't believe, knew about it at all either. Because it was like they were working the people in the back. They were working the boys.
Tara was just walking the boys, yeah.
Yeah, they just wanted everyone to think it was a shoot.
Just a McRib.
But it was, in fact, supposed to lead to a match between the two in TNA. But unfortunately, it never happened. I think a big reason why it never happened is because, like, I think just a couple months before this, we had the famous Jenna Maraska versus Charmel match. And they were like, let's not do matches with untrained wrestlers anymore. So,
Yeah, I found, just as a segue, well, actually, another thing is that Awesome Kong and ODB had no idea what was going on because they both stopped
yeah, like
fighting
I said,
each
I don't
other,
think anybody knew in the match.
and they were just staring, and the cameraman did not do ODB and Awesome Kong any favors because the producer decided to go to the camera where they're like, what the heck is going on? Like, why wouldn't they just keep fighting, dude? Like, come on, kayfabe.
I wanted to know what was going on.
But as a segue, as a younger wrestling fan, I didn't think much of ODB. But now I find ODB incredibly repulsive, and I didn't want to watch the match because she was really
ODB is
grossing me out. She has this move where she just slaps the other wrestler's boobs. Like, there's no reason for
slaps
it.
her
This,
own
this
boobs.
like it's her gimmick, dude.
And it's
She-
like a chest slap, but it's like a boob slap. And
She's basically supposed to gross you out.
yeah, it worked. It worked on me. I was really uncomfortable watching the
Like,
match.
don't you know what ODB stands for?
Well, it stands for Old Dirty Bastard. I don't
Oh
know
my
what the
God.
fuck
No.
TNA wanted
This
to
fucking
do.
hip hop head over
It
here.
stands for one dirty bitch.
Oh wow, I wonder where they got that one from. Maybe where they got all their entrance themes from too. Freaking just copying other shit.
So Kong was firmly in control. Raisha Saeed came down and slid a chair to Kong, but she didn't want to use it, so she kicked it back.
This was awesome.
Then Awesome Kong picked ODB up for a powerbomb, and Saeed threw the chair under where ODB was going to land for assistance. Countered, and Kong instead went face first into the chair, and ODB got the pin and retained the title.
Dude,
Creative finish.
this was so
okay.
retarded. Oh my god. They kicked the chair back and forth like 5 times. Oh my god. You know,
No, they didn't.
yeah, it was multiple times. It wasn't
It
just
was
like
maybe
twice.
twice.
It
Yeah.
was like 10 times, dude.
That was twice.
It was
really.
like the finish would not finish, dude. Like, we all knew it was happening.
Finish. Not finish.
Tangent real quick. I looked up
Oh my
Raisha
gosh.
Saeed. Played
Yeah,
by
little
a,
Melissa.
played by a white woman, dude.
Literally a Indian chick played by some chick named Anderson.
Yeah. Oh
Melissa
my god.
Anderson.
Holy sheesh, dude.
We had some good calls by Taz during this match. There was a spot where ODB and Tara kipped up, which he called a double nip up. There was also, while Raisha Saeed and Kong were arguing, he said he was trying to read Raisha's lips, which was blocked by a veil, so you couldn't read
Yes.
Yeah,
couldn't read the lips.
good one, Taz. Good one.
Yep.
I liked the finish.
Oh yeah, I thought it was good. Lemon's just you know.
Dude, 20, like, I get
They
it,
did
okay?
it literally.
Do it
7.
once, okay? Don't do it 40 times,
It
okay?
was twice.
No one.
Like, I'm a smart wrestling fan. I know the finish
yes.
usually before it happens. I can see it coming a mile away. As soon as I saw the Burka run out, I was like, okay.
Excuse me.
What? Isn't that her name? Like,
Yeah.
Raisha the Burka Saeed.
Sure.
Yeah, as soon as she ran out there, I was like, okay, something's gonna happen. Also, do you think Awesome Kong sells too much?
Probably.
Because I remember when she debuted, she was like the Great Khali and nobody could stop her. And then in this match, she's getting thrown around like Amazing Red out there. Not
Yeah, I
too
thought this match was
awesome.
okay.
Yeah, it was better than some of the other matches for
It
sure.
was good.
Anyways, to the back. Lauren was with Matt Morgan. Lauren just said he will get his chance to face Angle tonight, and then put the mic in his face. I'm not sure she has actually asked a question all night. She just kind of makes a statement and then puts the mic in their face. Morgan said Angle tried to play him because he wanted Morgan in his corner, which is smart. But unlike the other 7-foot cliches in the business, he is a college-educated man and graduated first in his class. He said the fact he got Angle in a one-on-one match proved how intelligent he was. He said for the first time in Kurt's life, Kurt was the underdog. And then Morgan said that he was the future. Yike.
Yeah, he is. Morgan was kind of whispering this promo. There was something about his voice that just sounded like he was trying to be quiet.
This promo was bizarre.
It was
I had
very
no
real.
idea what he was talking about.
Wrestling's best versus wrestling's future.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think Matt Morgan, he might be in better shape than some of the Giants, but he can't talk like a giant, dude. He sounds like a freaking mouse. He talks like way too fast. There's nothing.
Yeah, he's no big Cass on the mic. That's
yeah,
for sure.
he needs to go into the WWE Performance
Go back to
Center.
development.
Yeah. Agreed.
Samoa Joe versus Bobby Lashley in a submission match.
MMA
TNA
versus
MMA
TNA.
match.
Yeah.
I did it
Which-
alternate to Camel just for dramatic
job,
effect.
Obviously, this because they did the Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle match like a year ago, and it was like supposed to be MMA rules or whatever, and that actually drew pretty big. But no, I don't think anybody cared about this at all.
Yeah, I like how Bobby Lashley, or the boss, Bobby Lashley, is supposed to be the MMA representative, but he did no MMA type of stuff the whole match.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he did a little bit, but Bobby had his ribs taped up.
Yeah.
Crystal was shown in the crowd cheering on Bobby, the former WWE Crystal, now Bobby's
Was she
wife.
in the E? I didn't know that.
Yes, she was in the E for a long time, actually.
The only thing I know about her is there was a feud with Scott Steiner where he talked about how he could see himself in Bobby's son's eyes. So that was a real good feud.
So Samoa Joe was throwing leg kicks, and Earl Hebner got kicked in the leg by Joe, but that didn't play into anything.
that a shoot, or
No, it was
was
clearly
Joe
on,
just shooting on him?
no, it was
Screwing
clearly
him
on,
back
it
or
was
something?
clearly on purpose because Hebner was like he kept inching closer and closer and closer, like it was supposed to happen, but like I said,
Was
it
he
didn't
doing
play in any.
the Joker hit me? thing?
Yeah, Samoa Joe is like, you're not gonna screw me over like you screwed Brett, so I'm gonna kick you just so you know what will happen to you later.
Yeah, I'm still not over the fact that some of the fans were chanting "You screwed Brett" here in
They
2009.
they booed him at some point when he was when they announced him too.
12 years.
um, yeah, I also like, I think Taz said it, but the tape on Bobby Lashley's ribs is like a neon sign for Samoa
yeah,
Joe
dude.
to target. Some
And
good
Joe,
psychology.
that's what I was gonna say next is that Joe was attacking Lashley's injured ribs. Who is the babyface and who is the heel in this match?
Joe was the heel.
Are you
And,
sure?
I think.
Yes.
Oh,
Joe was okay. Well, to the smarks in the crowd, Joe was the babyface. But
Yeah,
story
Joe.
Joe,
I didn't.
member of the Main Event Mafia, and from the Nation of Violence, was the heel.
Well,
I didn't know what was going on because, like I was saying, Joe was attacking the injured ribs, which is very heelish, but the crowd was firmly behind Joe, and they did not like Bobby Lashley at all.
It's because it's freaking Joe.
Yeah, I thought it was some like early on TNA originals versus new talent, like animosity stuff going on. Because I think TNA fans would prefer Samoa Joe than Bobby Lashley.
Isn't Joe from California too? They were in
Yeah, he
California,
is.
so that
Yeah, he is.
might have contributed.
That probably helped too, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone gave a crap about Bobby Lashley at this point, and they wanted to see the guy that they've been cheering on for years prevail.
Joe's from Orange County, also the home of our good friend Fork Dog.
Charlotte's Ferg Dog.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Lashley won the match out of pretty much nowhere with a side choke, even though Joe had not tapped. Oh well, to the back.
Wait a minute, you didn't even.
That's the idea.
Okay.
Anyway, they tried to play off Joe passing out, but they didn't do the thing where you lift his hand and all that. So the bell
Earl
just kind of
called for
rung,
the bell.
and Samoa Joe just kind of tried to play dead for a while, even though he was still moving around a little bit.
The camera
Yeah,
angle was so bad. I
He
didn't
was
even see
sleeping.
what the fuck happened.
The announcers didn't know what was going on, and yeah, they immediately went to the back.
To the back.
Jeremy Borash was with Mick Foley in a kitchen or some shit. Seriously, where were they?
I think they were in his dressing room. He's
Okay,
the
if you say so.
executive shareholder. He gets a pretty good dressing room with like a kitchen and all sorts of other, probably like a pinball machine. You know, like in the old WWE games where you would like start out in the back in the locker room and then you'd have to go on your phone in order to get to like the match or whatever. It was like that.
So it was a crazed Mick Foley promo. It was all right, but not much to say about it. He did say that he had shed blood on 7 continents, which I don't believe to be true.
Well, he wrestled in Japan.
He
So
didn't
that's
wrestle in
Asia.
Antarctica, Lambent.
Okay, I just wanted to go through just in case. Yeah, I guess there hasn't been any wrestling shows in Antarctica. That
Not to my knowledge, no.
I don't think he would have wrestled in South America either, to be honest. Could be wrong about that, but Africa, I'm sure he did. South America, I'm not sure. But anyways,
Asia, you did.
But
it
anyways,
was Mick Foley versus Abyss with Dr. Stevie as special guest referee in a Monsters Ball match.
Did anyone else
the signature
cry
match.
during the video package where Mick gave Abyss his flannel and then Abyss is his Abyss's childhood hero is actually Mick Foley, and then
They cut out the part where he gives him the bag, and Abyss mistook it for groceries.
oh,
That's actually what happened. And then he said, "No, it's flannel," because you gotta make Abyss look like a dumbass.
yeah, I was crying during the video package because
Yeah, I was tearing up a little bit. They
Abyss did say, "I'm hardcore, and you just used to be."
yeah, I mean it has to be painful seeing your idols, for what they really are instead of what you thought they would be when you met them. So it's a very relatable storyline that I feel like anybody watching at home could get behind. So I think this was the
What the
best
hell are you
storyline of the
talking
night.
about?
do you have something you wanna just get off your chest real quick?
What? It's like
I honestly have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
you aren't picking up what I'm putting down, dude?
No, not exactly.
Well, it's a classic trope, okay? The young gun, Abyss, Chris Park, as some know. Isn't his name Chris
That's
Park?
his name.
Yeah. So he's an up and comer. He looks up to Mick Foley all his career. He puts the mask on. He gets the thumbtacks out. He does barbed wire
Classic
bullshit.
tags.
Huh?
He loves those tags.
Yeah, he gets the thumbtacks out. He puts his
He does
body
love
on the
those
line.
tags.
He's a stunt man, just like Mick Foley. And then finally, Mick Foley comes to his promotion. He's like, I get to work with my idol now. And then his idol busts him open, dude. He
Mashes a caricature of them together over his head.
he just turns on him out of nowhere, and it's like,
Did you
wow.
call Mick Foley a stuntman? What are you, Ric Flair?
Yeah, I was getting my Ric Flair in. Ric
He's
Flair
a
be
gimmick.
like, "What's TNA?"
Mm.
That's a good one.
Does he still owe them like $3,000 or whatever?
Anyway, you're distracting me. So
Check. Does.
so yeah, so
I don't know what you're
he
talking
finally
about.
meets his idol. Things don't go well. That's something that a lot of people can relate to, dude. Anyway, to the
Okay.
back.
No, to the
Okay.
ring.
To the ring this
Yeah,
time.
Foley jumped Abyss during Abyss's entrance. They brawled down the entrance ramp and then they climbed up the stage. And Foley punched Abyss until Abyss fell and went through a table. And then Foley
It was
did
through
his...
the stage.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
went through
yeah,
the
well, it was-
fucking stage, dude. TNA.
This had a
It was just
seizure
a
after
table,
it fell.
but...
Oh, well, he said through the stage.
I know, but... So then Foley did his flying elbow down onto him. Stevie was giving Mick some encouragement. There was assorted plunder. Abyss hit Foley in the head with a trash can a couple times.
That was nice
And
to watch.
then they both took turns taking bumps into barbed wire boards.
I like
Abyss bladed.
that. No,
a
he
little
got
bit
hit
later-
with the barbed wire bat, dude. That
No,
busted him
he
open.
bladed, you fucking retard. Why do
Okay.
you always do this?
Like, you think everybody blades. Like, where are they going to
Yeah,
hide
'cause
a
they
razor
do.
blade, dude? Like, I don't
Oh,
get
I don't
it.
know. I don't know. Anyways,
This wasn't the business, jeez.
like a couple minutes later, Abyss also cut up his arm, I believe, which was another trademark of
From
his.
the barbed wire.
What? How could it not be? That barbed wire was sharp, dude.
No,
You
it wasn't.
can't
That
get
barbed
that
wire
at
was
Home
super dull.
Depot, dude. They don't make those. At
Oh
Home
yeah,
Depot.
when they brought out the barbed wire boards, Taz says, "I don't think they sell that at Home Depot," and just kind of got silence from, what's his name, Mike Tenay.
Foley poured out thumbtacks. Abyss was going to chokeslam Foley onto them, but Stevie reminded Abyss that one of the rules of the match was that Abyss was not allowed to use thumbtacks. So Abyss gave Stevie the Shaq treatment backbreaker. Daphne came out and she handed a taser off to Foley.
Fucking taser!
Foley
What the fuck?
Foley used it, and a bunch of sparks flew out of it. It looked pretty dumb.
And Taz was like, Daphne, she's zombie hot, bro. She's
Abyss
zombie hot.
Abyss started smoking. He was frying from
Yeah.
the taser.
He started selling it too early. He was already getting shocked before the sparks flew.
I think there was like a delay from
Yeah.
when like Foley pressed the button and then the sparks flew out.
Yeah. Abyss was really good at having seizures at any possible moment this match. Every time he took a big move, he made sure to shake a good amount on the ground, so you knew he was hurting.
So yeah, after the tasing, a new ref came out to count, and Abyss was late to kick out, but the ref just stopped counting anyways, and the fans.
It was edited on the show, so that seemed like it was a real kick out, but it was not. Sadly.
The
And
fans kind
knew
of
that.
got on him for it, and the announcers were like, "What's going on? What's going on?"
Did you like the ref how he did one hand? He started with his right, then switched to the left, and then went back to his right hand to do the 3 count. That was
I
pretty
didn't even
beast.
notice.
Yeah, he was still regaining his footing.
So Abyss went for a pin on Foley, but Stevie pulled the new ref out of the ring at the 2.5 mark. In a classic bit of TNA camera work, Abyss chokeslammed Daphne to the outside onto a couple barbed wire boards, but we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, you just kind of see her falling. I have a pretty good picture of it that I'm proud of.
By the way, Daphne suffered a concussion and a broken arm on this spot.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
she looked
so
like she was
zombie
having
hot.
a pretty rough time outside.
Some say
Stevie?
she's still stuck in the barbed wire.
Stevie
No.
took off his ref's shirt for no reason, and then got Black Hole slammed onto the tacks by Abyss, of course. Foley got chokeslammed onto the barbed wire board, but there was no ref. So then Abyss dragged Stevie over and then manually used Stevie's arm to count the pin, and the bell rang. Taz said, "I guess that counts. To the back!"
It was a good finish. That was
I loved it.
just a wacky
Yeah.
match.
Yeah,
All good fun.
definitely one of the more entertaining matches, and
I don't know
yeah,
if you say so.
I really like the
There's a
camera
lot
shot
going
of
on, but-
Daphne after the match is over, looking like she just fucking died.
Because she did.
Yeah, she was really, like, she couldn't get out of the barbed wire, so.
I think Abyss kind of threw her too far, is what the problem was.
Oh yeah, it looked like he just like pushed her off the top rope without really any care in the world of what would happen to her. I mean, honestly, anyone who tells a fucking woman to do that, I'm surprised she was down for it, but hopefully she got a good push out of it.
She got a pop from the crowd, and no, she did not get a good push. In fact, a couple months later, she has to perform a striptease live on television.
I just couldn't believe that Taz called her a zombie on 2 separate occasions. I thought
That was his
really
gimmick. He
weird.
calls her zombie hot.
She doesn't even look like a zombie. She's
Doesn't
pale.
matter. She's just kind of zombie hot, you know.
Oh, okay, whatever. Fucking retard Taz. You know, Taz just keeps fucking everything up.
Yeah, the match was alright, I guess. I didn't
It
really
was like a
like
cartoon.
it that much.
I liked it.
Especially the taser spot just kind of made the match, you know.
Oh, yes.
It's what I look for. If the match is gonna be bad, at least make it entertaining, you know? And that's something that Samoa Joe and Lashley failed to do.
So JB was with Kurt Angle. Angle said Morgan was a disrespectful punk. Angle called himself the godfather of the main event mafia. And
That was his nickname.
he ended the promo by saying, "The Godfather has spoken."
Yeah, nice Mind Freak merch on Kurt Angle. Apparently that's the main event Mafia merch, but it looks like it came out of Chris
It's
Angel
his-
Mind Freak. Fucking looked like a dumbass with a rose.
He was actually on an episode of Mind Freak.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like a big rose on his shirt. Like, what the heck? He also,
Yeah, he's the Godfather.
yeah, he's got the stubble gimmick going on. He kind of looked like Christopher
like a skeleton.
Daniels
That's what he looks
vaguely.
like.
Yeah, he looked all summed up too. His eyes were like rolling in the back of his head during his promos.
This was not a good time for Corley.
Yeah, I think this was kind of like the peak of Kurt Angle's problems right here.
Yeah,
A
he
couple
looked-
months later
Or
is
maybe
when
a couple
he gets
years
his,
later.
his DUI or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
and
bad.
this was probably like close to around the time when did Jarrett
Start banging his wife.
No, that's
yeah,
why Jarrett wasn't on the show. Like this
okay, yeah.
time while Jarrett was out.
And then like shortly after that, Kurt Angle ended up getting arrested for like stalking Raka Khan. Do you remember that?
No.
It's fucking based.
Yeah. Yeah, Kurt Angle has a thing for black chicks, just for the record.
He does. It's bestiality sex with them as his. That's his world. It's not mine.
So Kurt Angle versus Matt Morgan. They advertised this as wrestling's best versus wrestling's future, which looking back on,
Bad call.
yeah,
I like the worksheet
it's not
video
it's not
package.
for a lack of effort with Matt Morgan because they
They
tried
did.
so many times with him.
Because the video package, like, Kurt Angle is like, I don't know, it sounded like he was shooting. It's really weird. He didn't come off as a heel at all. He's like, yeah, man, I just hope I can beat Matt Morgan. He's a really fierce competitor.
Well, Angle was turning babyface, so I
Yeah,
think,
this was his babyface one at the end.
everything Kurt Angle does looks amazing. I just wanted to say that.
I love his dog tags that
That's
he
true.
was wearing, too, when he
Yeah.
came out. That's pretty
Those things were
beast.
big as hell.
Yeah, he had, like, it looked like he had a big chain on, but it was just dog tags.
So Sean Stockman from Boys to Men was randomly shown in the
Oh
crowd.
yeah. What was that about?
It wasn't about anything.
Also, apparently, allegedly, Joey Fat One was on the pre-show.
Fat one? You mean Fatone?
Joey Fat One.
You not seen the Robot Chicken sketch?
It's a
where-
classic.
yeah, where it's Joey Fat One. It's a pretty good. It's like my introduction to Robot Chicken. It's all downhill from there, but yeah, it was a pretty good short.
So the match started slow, but then they started trading near falls. Angle got the ankle lock on, which is when the crowd started to get real into it. Morgan got out of it and then hit the elevator, but Kurt got the shoulder up.
Do you like how he
Um,
presses like the elevator button before he does
Oh
it?
yeah. He
That's
checks his watch. And then
yeah,
he goes for the elevator.
he like hits floor one and he's like elevator time.
Morgan was going for a tombstone pile driver, but Kurt got out of it and then got the ankle lock back on. Morgan kicked Angle to get out of it and then hit a discus clothesline for another near fall. Crowd chanted Morgan sucks, even though he's the babyface. Angle did that thing where he runs to the top rope and then does a belly-to-belly suplex all really quickly. And then he followed that up with an ankle slam and then a frog splash, all in quite rapid succession, but Morgan kicked out again. Angle looked like he was going to go for his moonsault, but Morgan put him in the electric chair position, but then Kurt did a victory roll and got the 3 count. At some point, this match got awesome.
Yeah, Morgan was very depressed after his loss. He looked very sad and defeated.
I really enjoyed Mike Tenay yelling out repeatedly, "What do I have to do if I'm Matt Morgan here?" Because that happened a few times.
The legitimate question: what do you have to do?
Yeah, there was one time where like Matt Morgan was like, "What the fuck?" And then Mike Tenay was like, "He just said, what do I have to do to put away Kurt Angle?" And I thought that was pretty funny. Because there were a few times during the show in general where where Taz was like, "Yeah, the crowd just said what I was about to say." So
They were chanting "Holy shit!" That is.
yeah, that was a good one. And then Taz also said, he said, trigger alert. He said chink during
Oh,
the
yeah.
match.
He did say "chink." What was that about?
He's
I don't remember the
trying,
context.
I
But...
don't even know. Like
He was
like,
trying to say a chink in his armor.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I'm also really surprised that they weren't cheering for Matt Morgan when he had lines like, "These abs are built to go, not for show," in the video
Uh-huh.
package. I left that out, but I thought that was a really good line that Matt Morgan came up with.
Yeah, this was clearly the best match on the show. I will give Morgan some credit for this, but not a ton.
Yeah, Matt Morgan did a good match.
Angle
It was
offered a handshake.
4-star match.
Yeah,
4
I'd say so.
stars, dude.
Angle offered a handshake, which Morgan accepted. Then the crowd gave Morgan a standing ovation, so he actually won them over to an extent in the end.
Yeah, this, as noted, was the face tone for Kurt Angle after this.
Yeah, with the handshake and such.
Yeah, and Taz with the legendary call after the handshake, he said, I don't know if Matt Morgan even cares, but that was pretty huge for him. Because apparently Matt Morgan wouldn't care to give a handshake, even though he did give the handshake. I want to kill Taz. Can we kill Taz after this?
I mean, you can.
Jeez, you really hate Taz.
Yeah, it's fucking vanilla midget. Ruined wrestling.
I wouldn't say you ruined it.
It was time. Sting versus AJ Styles for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Woohoo!
It was pretty hard for them to follow the last match. They both just took turns on offense for a while. Eventually Sting got the Scorpion Deathlock on, but Styles got out of it. Crowd was a bit more into it at that point.
He sold it like death. He was screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, like, you want to give up, and he was like, no!
Oh, man. Yeah, AJ was the heel because he's from Gainesville, too. So
They were both baby faces, but the crowd was really into Sting because
they booed Gainesville pretty hard.
yeah,
did boo for Gainesville.
they kept teasing that this was possibly Sting's last match and all that. Sting got hit with a Pele kick on the apron, and then AJ did a springboard splash and got the 3 count with that to retain the title. Quite a flat finish and really only a decent match. Pretty disappointing for a main event title match, quite frankly.
Well, they were trying to make the springboard splash his finisher at the time. I remember that's how he won the title, too.
Breaking news, by the way, Sting supports cancer. He was not wearing a wristband. AJ overachieved. He went out there with pink on his gear, supporting breast cancer awareness. But Sting said, "Nope, not gonna ruin my little teeny bopper gimmick and put some pink on. I'm gonna support breast cancer." So great job, Sting. Another thing about this match that I thought was interesting is that when Sting would throw AJ out of the ring, he would sit and let AJ back in. He'd even open the ropes for him, something very sportsmanlike, to which my guy Taz said, I would clobber him as soon as he got in the ring, but Sting didn't do it.
Sting,
Did not.
or Taz, like I said a little bit, he really did suck, I thought.
Yeah, I'm trying to really bury him here, but I'm not kidding. Get through the hour that it takes to get on their shitty website and watch this show, and you will be like, oh my god, Lamb was right. He was totally right on this one.
So Sting left, but Styles was trying to invite him back in the ring, which he had a bit of trouble doing because his mic was broke.
Yeah, he had to go
Yeah,
through
he
like
was
4
getting
mics.
pissed.
Eventually, they got him a new one, and
Can y'all
Yeah.
hear me? He yelled.
Oh, hear me
Fans-
now!
fans chanted, "Please don't go." Styles left the ring as Sting got in. Sting said if he was going to lose, he was happy to lose to AJ. Fans chanted, "You still got it," and then they chanted, "One more year, one more year."
I'm getting emotional.
Sting said he wasn't trying to pull a Brett Favre.
Very
He-
topical reference at the time.
Yeah, he didn't know if he was going to come back or not, but the way the fans treated him made him want to stay forever. This whole segment was a bit funny, knowing that Sting would end up staying in TNA another 5 years after this.
Yeah, he would ultimately stay forever until he was buckle bombed into a into dust, and he will never wrestle again.
And then the show went off the air.
Ooh-wee. This was a painful show to watch. There were good moments, but this was the first show that we watched where, when it ended, I felt a lot of relief. Like, oh my god, it's over, finally.
This show was like the definition of just okay, I thought.
Yeah, it was fine.
Almost everything on this show was just there, and there was a lot going on. We easily could have picked one of TNA's more standout shows, either in a good way or a bad way, but I mean, we picked this one because it had a bit of everything that TNA had to offer, and it did accomplish that. So,
Yep.
I think I enjoyed watching this overall.
I enjoyed it just because it was like the very first type of wrestling stuff I ever saw, so it's kind of
Yeah,
weird going back in time.
Nostalgia
TNA is like-
bomb.
Yeah.
TNA is during this time period. That's Cameron's wheelhouse right there.
Yep. Remember staying up on Thursday nights watching AJ versus Kurt Angle. Oh my gosh, I'm going back down memory lane.
Yeah, there's this one TNA show that I'd like to do a video on. It was actually an episode of Impact where it was an hour-long triple threat match between Rhino, Christian Cage, and Kurt Angle. To this day, I still think it's one of the best wrestling matches I've ever watched, and I have no reason to say that, but it was just fucking awesome. So at some point, I'd like to talk about that match because it was pretty dang good. But yeah, as far as this show goes, I almost wish it was worse. Because I find train wrecks more entertaining to watch than
I know what you
okay
mean.
shows.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was like the X Division match was a standout, not in a good or a bad way, but it was memorable. The Abyss Mick Foley match was also like that. And to an extent, the Matt Morgan Kurt Angle match was also pretty good. And the tag team match, which is only 4 matches, and this shit was like 3 hours. I don't remember how long there or how many matches there were, but I
9, I believe.
Yeah, I got the same kind of fatigue that I get when I watch WWE shows now. So it is what it is. If I were to rate this against all the other shows that we've done, this would probably be in last place.
This was definitely better than Road Wild, I thought.
Hog Wild.
I got it.
Whichever one it was. But yeah,
Well, definitely
it's-
some snooze matches on this though.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was just kind of there, like I said. But Kurt Angle and Matt Morgan was legitimately a great match, I thought. Anyways,
Mhm.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I think if it wasn't surrounded by all the other average shit, I would have, I don't know, maybe it would have popped out a little bit to me more. But I was pretty worn out by that point in the show. I had to take 3 breaks. I usually don't take any, so maybe it was just me. I don't know. But an interesting point in dress rehearsal for this show, because we do a nice little dress rehearsal. We do each other's entrances and everything before we record BTW. And
Totally.
What are you talking about?
I said this was going to be like 40 minutes long, and this is actually our longest BTW yet. And I feel like
'Cause
that's
you were-
mostly me, because I was,
You went on about the fucking chair spot in the women's match.
yeah.
and you had to talk about whatever the hell you were talking about with Mick Foley and Biz.
Oh man, I did good this show. I mean,
Mhm.
if they're gonna kick the chair back and forth 100 times, I feel like we should talk about it. But I was watching a different show than you guys.
You really were.
Apparently.
I don't know. Maybe the Global Wrestling Network app gave me the wrong show.
Maybe he was stuttering or something.
So I mentioned Team 3D going to Wrestle Kingdom, the Tokyo Dome show. They actually lost the belts to No Limit, Tetsuya Naito, and Yujiro Takahashi,
Ah, hell yeah.
which was a match
I
that
still
also
remember that,
featured
actually.
Giant Bernard and Carl Anderson.
Oh
Who's
yeah,
Giant
they were great.
Bernard.
That's
It's
Albert.
Prince Albert, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Tensai?
Carl Anderson, of
Tensai,
course.
yes.
Yes.
Ah,
It's
hell
fucking Tensai.
yeah. Okay. The funky one. Tensai.
Yeah, Sweet Tea.
Fucking thing.
Is that what they
Uh,
called him when you started?
Yeah,
dancing?
yeah. He was Sweet Tea.
But, yeah, it was a hardcore match, of course, and I remember seeing that, and it was okay.
But,
Yeah.
any other thoughts on this show?
There were a bunch of thoughts in that women's tag match, if you count those.
Oh shoot.
Oh,
You
Get
got
it?
'em.
You get it?
also no dead wrestlers. Unless you want to count Mick
Yeah, I don't
Foley.
think so.
You want to count Mick Foley's brain?
Yeah, you want to count
Fuck.
Mick
Let me just
Foley.
make a look through here just to make sure.
I'm 99.9%
Yeah, I think you're right too.
sure that there are no
I
dead
probably would have
wrestlers.
noticed.
Yeah, so...
Poison. Poison's probably no longer with us.
Who's Poison? What the hell?
The tarantula?
Yeah, tarantula.
Oh, shit.
How's that insect get an entrance?
Fucking insect. Jesus Christ, what an idiot. Yeah, I don't think no deadies.
Yeah, shout outs to everybody who made it this far in the video. Also, leave your suggestions. Yeah, we have no idea where we're going in 2 weeks as far as what promotion. We still got some left, I think. But yeah, that's about it. Any closing thoughts from you, Colin or Came Lion?
I'm all good, I think.
Yep, same. I've been eating Taco Bell this entire time, by the way. I feel like
You
I should
didn't
let that
finish
be known.
it?
I'm still eating it.
Jesus.
Yeah, we
I'm
were
a
gonna
growing
wait for
boy.
you, fucking idiot.
Nope. Not today.
Yeah, and follow us on Twitter. Subscribe. Camel wanted me to tell you guys to ring the bell. He forgot about that, but yeah, ring the
What?
bell.
Oh yeah, ring the bell. Make sure to do that. Comment, like the video. Subscribe if you want to see other videos and all of this one.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, ring it.
Follow us on the Boys Talk Wrestling Twitter that Lamit's gonna make after this.
I'm not
Really?
making that.
Yeah. And you know.
Okay, and we're ending
Let's stop stalling.
it.
This was
Okay.
episode 4 of Boys Talk Wrestling. Thanks for listening, y'all. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Smell you later.